Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the City of Glens Falls Water and Sewer Board meeting for Monday, October 6th, 2025, at 2 p.m. in the wastewater treatment plant conference room. I don't see anybody from the public. Pete, do we have anybody on?
No, we have that delay, so they don't see it for like 10 seconds or so.
Okay, well, we'll wait to 10 seconds.
It hasn't even hit the... Okay, there we go. No, there's one person on, but there's no question.
No questions? All right, since we see no questions from the public, we'll move on to the stormwater moment. As we continue on every month, stating why it's important not to do different things outside the house on impervious surfaces. This is 5 household habits to prevent stormwater pollution. Stormwater is water that flows into our drains, and chemicals debris are picked up along the way. We get into the water we use to swim, fish, and produce fresh drinking water. Staying along the themes that we've talked about several times. Vehicle waste, clean any spills, vehicle maintenance, from vehicle maintenance, and wash your vehicle on grass to prevent runoff into drains. Lawn maintenance, use of pesticides, fertilizers, sparingly, and sweep up yard debris so it doesn't get blown down the drain. Home improvements, protect storm drains before starting any home improvement projects, and clean up any debris immediately so that they don't get flushed down the drains. Garage waste, clean spills with an absorbent material like kitty litter or sand, and recycle vehicle oils at a participating service station. And finally, garden maintenance. Plant native plants in your yard since they require less water, fertilizers, pesticides. Remember, all storm drains connect to our waterways. Any questions? Okay. We're going to move on to billing issues. I think these were presented last month at the workshop special meeting. First handle 41 Thomas Street.
Is she normally current or is she
I believe that she's normally current.
she's current? Did she pay you last?
Joe, you want to just run in and ask Mary Beth? She's paid up. We'll wait on that one. We'll go to the second one. I'm more familiar with that one. The second one. Mary Beth has spoken to this woman who's been ill in and out of the hospital. She's normally paid up on her bills. You see that the last couple haven't been paid, but Mary Beth says she's usually around on top of it. But her last bill was $870.30. It isn't reflected on these bills, but that's what the bill she's paying. And normally her bill is for $204.82. Usually she has the minimum. So Mary Beth said she was looking for a credit of $665.48. $665.48. Like I said, the bill was $870.30. Her normal bill was $204.82.
Yeah, it's a little confusing with this thing she sent on the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a lot more than that.
Yeah. And she said because this was the one that she wanted paid because of the overage. Everything else is the minimum. This overage was because of she had people going into her house while she was in the hospital and running the water, and leaving it on, and just so they didn't realize that she was getting.
But that's all she's looking for? Because
That's what Mary Beth said. All she was looking for was the relief on the one bill.
okay, because if you look at the spreadsheet,
Oh, yeah, the
it looks like
spreadsheet.
it'd be a lot higher.
Yeah.
She said that they're current and they always pay on time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, right. Make a motion to grant her the
Credit at $665.48.
Yes, please.
Second?
Any discussion?
I'm for, with this kind of situation, where is the place, aside from family members or something we don't have, that a citizen can say, I'm a little past the ability to deal with a house, especially an old one? Is it the housing authority? Is it like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't know what to tell these people. I see it with my own great-grandparents at the moment. My parents are helping out, but if my parents weren't around and I wasn't around, I don't know, maybe she'd be downtown in the basement of City Hall in a cell. I just don't know, or does anybody know, in the general functioning of our towns, where
Beyond the housing authorities,
Yeah.
what did you have to say that?
It's, Warren County's got the senior citizens and,
is that what you would call out?
Yeah, I think
that's where I would start.
As an aging,
They do help, but then you have people to help you or whatever.
Because it feels like the,
Yeah,
and I apologize for this sounding crass, but there's a point at which, and I feel like I've had these discussions with people in my own family, like, should you be in your own whole house anymore? And that's a tough question to ask, and it can be callous and seem insensitive, but the reality of it or not. And if we give her relief for this next winter, is there another long issue of further problems, which is not her fault, but the taxpayers as a whole have to soak up this sort of situation, not her specifically, but just the concept of this sort of thing in general. But I don't feel like there's any place for people to go and be like, here's the solution to that. And I don't know if there can be, but it's not
Help there there are these guys with some places they can prefer, and they truly are just trying, but they just don't have the means to keep up with the whole thing.
Senior citizens,
It seems to I'd go to the Office of the Aging first, and then maybe refer them to it.
they know my mother stayed at the house
Yeah.
for years.
I'll ask Mary Beth if she
The
may
aides come in
be
and,
doing
help
that.
her and
I don't know if they have the revenue or sources of, there's gotta be someplace out there to help them like that.
No, I mean, problem is that it kind of goes beyond the scope of what the city's involvement
Right.
legally can be, and you can create a whole new department for giving assistance to seniors, so.
Right.
Chris, you have a very good point about it ultimately falls on the taxpayers, but it's the responsibility of people and their families and friends to figure that stuff out, no different than if somebody's got dementia and they leave the stove on, it's, you gotta hope that they've got some kind of support network that can come in and help them with that kind of stuff.
That's like to your point. I feel like our drop dead black and white legal stance is you used it next, and that's as
Well, I
people
think-
we're not wanting to come back like that. So it's if it ever got pushed into a corner, I don't even know what the scenario would be, but we have to hold that like this is what this institution. This is what our scope is, or what we.
I mean,
have to
generally,
do.
we've given people one.
Oh yeah.
one
No, yeah, not in this
relief,
situation,
so-
but just in a
And
broad
then-
sense.
And then what happens is, if they go through the year and they're in the rears, that gets re-levied and put back on their taxes. So then it comes back to us from the city, and then the city is made whole once the home is sold.
Sure, but that totally destitutes.
Yeah.
If the person's having problems now, then it's re-levying and constant building up, and But yeah, it's on county senior living.
I
guess
guess
we
we
could also-
I know my mother-in-law,
Social services.
at the end of her, they went to Fort Hudson. They actually sent people in a couple times a week to evaluate her, until, she, couldn't do it anymore and had to go in a nursing home. But they would come, but then my mother did,
Do anybody know if this lady has any?
Warren County senior
Is it in the
citizens, they
area,
were
or-
very helpful.
I'm sorry, she has one.
And
They in the area or
people come
somebody
in,
looking after
help
her?
her clean,
According
help
to
her
her,
shower.
according to her note,
Like it's-
she
it's
says she has
staying
no
at
family
home.
in the area.
County paid
I know
for
she
it.
has
I live alone unless
They
my
didn't
family
have-
and friends or dad or live
They didn't have
way
swag
away
money,
and really
so-
can't help me.
Is it possible not to, add more tasks to the process of responding, but like when we do something like this, a scenario like this where it's someone elderly disabled, is it possible to have a sentence saying maybe take a look at Warden Parent Senior Services for just as a small bone to throw of, I don't know, in my own family's history and multiple relatives, they got tunnel vision to nowhere, and the world's collapsing in on me. I don't know what to do. There's no money. There's no people. It would be nice if there was something that's like, call here. This is probably where you can find some answers or some new light, as well as your one-time.
Well, I'll ask Mary Beth if she does refer them to anybody, and then if she doesn't, then we can.
I mean, I think it would be okay if it's a casual, but I don't think the city wants to get into a situation where they put in writing available resources, because then the next step from that is, you didn't tell me, and then it falls back on the city.
I see. Okay.
So I don't, that exceeds the municipal authority. I don't think you want to go down that road.
Okay.
Unfortunately, people, there's, welfare checks through the county, things like that is about all you can do. If somebody's got concerns, they're gonna have to figure it out. I hate to sound cold on that, but that really goes beyond the scope of what the city can do.
No, it's nice to hear that, because we all feel that way, but I want to make sure that was, if that is the scope, that are the parameters, then we're not doing our worst by hearing to it. It's unfortunately limitations of the institution.
What's the motion? I was confused with the rest of them.
It's very confusing the way that I think,
So what Mary Beth said that Mrs. Chamberlain was looking for was relief from the one bill, not everything, the one that was high, and that was for the quarter, which was $870.30. And her normal bill is roughly $482. So she was looking for relief of $665.48.
That's not
No.
Yeah, that's it. So that's the same thing I figured out.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing, and until I talked to Mary about that, I wanted to see if she was looking for relief of over $1,500.
Yes.
Okay, so motion passes.
Well, how much? So,
Yeah.
sorry. So what are we giving relief for? How much? Oh, because I don't have that on my memo. So $665.48. So we're giving relief of $665.48. And those are just late fees?
No, that's the difference in the 1 quarter. Usually she pays the $204, and the 1 quarter is $870. Very bad.
Okay.
We've been taking the penalties off as we're going.
Who made the motion?
Second.
And all in favor?
So I guess we can move on now to 41 Thompson Street and Tompkin.
At what point does the callback system come in? Like, when did they first notice this? It was using a lot more water. Or did she notice that when the meter was read?
I think what it's...
If it happened another month, they would have picked up on it.
Yeah, I think, they would have, but she had saying that, they didn't even realize it because it's a bathroom they don't
As
use.
soon as they found they fixed it, so they
Yeah.
built it, okay.
And that's the same thing, if it was running for a year, how far back do you go? Do you give them one quarter? Do you give them-
Exactly, if they don't fix it.
Yeah. You give them, as we've done in the past, it's a one-time, so if it happens again. So what, I guess it's, what they're looking for is relief of the $380 over their average bill plus the $67.53 late fees, which comes to $447.53.
I'll make the motion.
I was questioning because 67, 53, they had got the bill, right?
Yeah, they had to fix it as soon as they got the bill. They weren't aware of it until the bill came through that high.
Well, I understand Pete's saying is that if they saw it came in that high, why didn't they challenge that before the late fees? But I think she was trying to figure out where it was and couldn't find it until someone was using that bathroom.
No, we never use it.
No, they never used that bathroom, and then they had someone come in, if you read her defense of why. So I guess, again, that's what she's looking for, is relief for the full 47.
I'll second that motion.
Ron, you made the motion? Move your second. All in favor? All right, approvals. We have approval of the minutes for September 2nd.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
September 15th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next, we have the warrant. Any questions on the warrant?
One question.
Okay.
Page 13, just a question.
Sure.
GC Pro. For 6,300.
That's what we use. That's our oxidizing agent chemical
Okay.
that we used.
Just never heard of it.
No, yeah, that's what we use, and we've been using more because the Willowbrae's been saying the loads have been smelling, so we doubled it.
Okay.
We put a second unit on. Didn't seem to lessen the odor at all, so we've cut back to basically one again, or 1.5. We're dosing like twice as much as we were.
Just one observation, we maybe start using early maybe. We have an answering service that answers phones, and we have the holy notifier that monitors all the alarms and the pumping stations and that stuff.
Yep.
Would it be cheaper for them to answer the phone when somebody there monitoring the thing all the time anyway? Is it feasible? And they pay another service to do the same thing. Not the same thing, but something they're capable of. You see what maybe see what it would cost us.
Okay.
Doing the answering also. That was just a thought. We pay an answering service, but we pay only to monitor the pumping stations. And only can save $50. I
I don't know how that works. The only thing I can think of is if that person's sitting there looking at.
Well, he sits there, no, he's got to be there 24 hours a day.
Right, but they're looking at multiple businesses or locations with alarms
Yeah.
and red lights going off, and they've got to contact owners of properties and
Well, normally,
enforcement and all that stuff, or talk to a customer who's just got about a sewer main guys in their front yard. Could that keep them from doing that?
well, sometimes
You were
there's
saying
people
like
sometimes there's-
on page 3,
Yeah,
I
what
just-
it is, it's the answering service for $130 a month. Schuster. I thought that was a community thing, so but I'll.
It's not feasible. It's not feasible. It's
Yeah,
not
I'll take a look.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So we have
Page 2.
which one? Sale of farm equipment? No, that's a new one. We bought a new tractor, a new lawn tractor.
Used to be Emmerich.
Yes.
Used to be Emmerich and stuff. That's why. See on the bottom.
Warren County. Yeah, that was for the dams. Those are that's for the big hills and stuff. That's a little overkill for small areas.
Oh, okay. And then the other one, this page 13. Outdoor building. For the second one, outdoor building.
Page 13.
15.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, we had a grill here that was falling apart, so we replaced it.
It was page 11 now. So it's an outdoor grill.
Yeah.
Just for the worker morale.
Basically, yeah, we have, you know, cookouts and things like that, yeah.
I think that three things listed.
Well, the one is for the unit itself. Probably the bottom one is for the cover, and probably didn't come with a tank.
Inside of it,
Mhm.
okay, thanks.
So you get invited, Pete? You get invited?
Yeah.
There's two, the front page and then the back end is a small one, I don't remember, maybe $6,000 for engineering from Tectonic. Is that all dam stuff?
This is
It's
this
two
was for
separate.
every few years. There's a big one, a large one, engineering assessment for all of the dams.
Oh, okay, good, right.
Then every 2 to 4 years, there's smaller engineering reports that need to be filed. So this was the big one for the Wilkie intake. Part of the next year's budget, part of the water budget is $60,000 for EAs and inspections. This was due by the end of August, and we actually submitted it like September 2nd. So. Any other questions? Motion?
I'll move accept.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. All community, well, we're going to discussion now. Thank you, everybody, for approving the resolutions. Under the discussion, the MS4 permit is any community that has a separate storm drain system that leads to any receiving water body, whether it's a river, lake, stream, Long Island Sound, ocean, needs to have an MS4 permit for their storm system. It's an elaborate thing that takes a lot of time to do. So what we're looking at doing is joining a coalition with the surrounding communities and Warren County Soil and Water is going to spearhead doing all the MS4s for all of the things. We've approached Warren County to go ahead and do that for us. We'll wait to see what it would cost. So as soon as I find out what it will cost to do, they're already doing it for Lake George, they're already doing it for Queensberry, so it only makes sense to be cost effective to go ahead and let them do it.
They do it for free?
No, that's what we're waiting for, to see what kind of fee they're gonna charge us. I think it'd be a reduced fee because they already have all of the stuff in-house to do it already. And Nick Rowell, who works for Warren County Soil and Water, is very good, said we're well suited because now we have Harry, who's doing all our GIS work like this. So it shouldn't be that costly, but we'll see.
Yeah, I have to invest in
What's that?
I have to invest in
They've invested it. Well, they do a lot of work for us already for the outfalls. They do the sampling and they do the outfall programs already. So they have a lot of the knowledge around the city already.
So it's work on the reservoirs too.
And they do the reservoir sampling as well.
It's a good group.
Yeah, they're very good. Okay. Oh, here's something. Good thing because I forgot the timber still. I have the contract. So I'll have to go up and get it. We talked to Tom Gilman about the sale. We got the check for $117,000. Got the contract that has to be signed. So they're moving ahead with that, and that's where we're going with that. So they haven't the last timber sale finished up. We released their bond holdings so that they're all done with the project, and they did the seeding, they did redid the road, so we're fine with them. So they got their
Where was this one? So, the parcel?
Wilkie, up
Yeah, Wilkie.
Wilkie, yep, up Wilkie up to Butler Pond, up past Butler Pond. So that's where, remember, they had to do the stream crossing. They had to get a permit from DEC to do the stream crossing. So they should be starting in the next few weeks. They're hopefully get done by the end of December, but it may push into spring. So we'll see. And then, sometimes it's a little advantageous when the ground freezes a little bit too. so.
Right.
All right, we're right in the middle of a budget process. I meet with the council on Wednesday at 5:30 to go over the water and sewer budgets. So right now, if everything holds, it looks like the sewer budget is going to remain the same. And the reason being, one of our bonds came off, so we had that revenue back. And also, we received some revenue from the city, another $300,000 for capital improvements. So, the two large items that looks like went up, sludge disposal went up about 11%. So it's about $125,000. And salaries, because of benefits and stuff went up. And those are about probably the two biggest. On the water side, it looks like we're going to go up about 5.5%. We're going to use about $200,000 out of the fund balance. And the two main reasons for that was school taxes went up, and we overestimated the revenue that we were going to receive from the cement factory. So we overestimated that, but underestimated how much revenue we could receive. So that's where we're at with that.
Where are we at in the budget process? Under that kind, is that part of,
That's part of this proposal right now.
any other vehicles in there?
There's 4 of the vehicles in there. A new van spread out through everybody because the van is going to be used for the meter reading. So that basically pays for everybody. So we're looking to get an electric van, Ford Transit, so that Adam and Chris can go around reading the meters, and then Chris can do it for his meter installations and repairs and things like that. And then going to try. We have some money left in the water budget, some money left in a couple of the other budgets. One of our dump bodies just crashed. The motor went. Boomer said the body needs to be replaced, so it's like $30,000 for a full repair, so it doesn't make sense. There's a truck up at the water department. I think we can scrape enough funds, about $65,000 together to replace. It's a 2010. It's only got 50,000, but the running boards are falling off. It was hard. Those 50,000 miles are hard miles.
Yeah.
Because it was used to plow the reservoirs and things like that. So it needs to be replaced.
Some of the street crews vehicles are going to go.
We've got a couple in there too, yeah, and we've got one for down here. And that's the thing, we usually have 1 or 2 vehicles out here for us to use. The guys to use, they gotta go grab parts or whatever. We don't have any trucks here because field crew needs them, because their trucks have been,
Is your truck back?
my truck's here. Yeah, so that's where we are. Also, meter purchases. Adam's been saying this the last couple of years. Our rates haven't increased in several years. So right now, it costs us money for people to come in and get our meters. So we'll be putting up a new meter fee. The other thing with the budget is, as I said, the sludge disposal went up 11%. So we'll be looking into septic. We're going to bump that up, try to leave some of that revenue on that side.
Our contract's up in January?
Yeah, we're in the process of waiting. I was talking to them to get a 3-year contract.
Are they open to that?
They told us.
Oh, really?
I thought we were going to be year to year, but
Yeah.
no, I was surprised. I was quite surprised, which is good. Yeah, it's going to get expensive. I think, sooner than later we're going to have to look at putting a dryer in, because I think we'll save that much money. Right now we're sending 80 to 78% water down the street to get burned.
Yeah.
If we can take 70% of water out of it, the cost is negated right there. Then we open it up for the possibility of developing some revenue by bringing in
Yeah.
some biosolids.
Any copy of it?
You will, yes, once we go through it. If I go through it now and it's not its final version yet. So And then have to come before you guys to get the final approval on the fees too.
Is the dryer thing definitely going to be a fuel based, or are they electric nowadays? Or
They're either natural gas or fuel. I haven't seen any electric yet. And there again, I had this discussion with my wife. All this stuff is going to be electric, but do we have the infrastructure to support it?
Well, that's what makes me nervous about it, is if we have to wait, and if there's some state or governmental thing that says,
Yeah.
you know, even your glasses have to be electric.
Well, if you looked at that thing that came through, the things that are eliminated from that process are always going to trickle through.
Oh, okay, so we won't be elbowed out of doing something efficient for
Yeah.
us.
Any questions on that?
And one thing I want to bring up is, I was talking to Jamie Sherrill, who used to be the fire chief.
Yeah.
What he said. And Jamie was saying that they have a fund, a truck fund, that they put money away every year so much for, and talking to Boomer the other day when he was in here,
Yep.
about every 3 to 5 years, you should think about replacing that back truck. I
Mhm.
mean, I know we don't want to do it right now, but maybe in some workshops and stuff or whatever, talk about doing a truck fund so we have that money to replace that back truck and still get, you know, 'cause it's still worth something when we trade it in 3 to
Yeah.
5 years, but after that, it sounds like the truck's pretty much useless.
Yeah, because basically what's going down is your trading value is going down and your expenses is going up.
Right,
So you know, next year, this year we've already spent $30-something thousand in
Right.
repairs. You know, next year that could be all that, if not more.
Or more.
And right now, they said because of the repairs we did, it's worth about $100,000. Next year, it's going to be worth $70. The following year, it's going to be worth $35.
Probably would be sitting over there.
It'll be
So
out.
if we could
It won't be
designate-
worth trading in.
So if we could designate some money every year, okay, similar to a fund balance, but have it for the truck,
But,
you know, that would be a big hat on the.
yeah, I think once we, maybe this year, maybe the year where we get enough vehicles to where we can say, all right, we're good now. Maybe next year we put $60,000 in contingency or truck contingency fund,
Right.
and then build that.
Look at that in the next budget or whatever.
Yep, that sounds great. Electrical upgrade, we have a workshop on Wednesday. Ray Pierce is coming in. John Goldie's already given all of his comments because he went on vacation, so he's not going to be there. But he's forwarded all his comments to Ray Pierce, so we'll go through it, hopefully finalize it. This has to be completed before the end of the year because we have to have Ray Pierce paid because that's when the ARPA, everything that ARPA covers has to be paid by the end of this year. So hopefully we'll come out of that. We'll figure out how we're going to proceed. And again, you know, a little bit of money came off this year out of one bond. Next year, I think there's another one for a little over 800 and something thousand. So there's almost $1 million in 2 years coming off the bond. So hopefully that'll help fund this. And maybe going forward, you know, a couple more bonds come over, we can look at funding the drive. Because especially this electrical upgrade, you know, they're huge numbers, $20 million. But I'm not apprehensible about spending that over 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, because right now, this electrical stuff lasted 40 years and it wasn't maintained at all. So going forward, I'm not, like you said, apprehensive about bringing in a new system for 40 years and making sure that it's maintained. The only thing that makes you nervous is just how advanced technology becomes. That's the only thing. So, but that's hopefully we've looked forward enough within this upgrade that it gets us. I would like to say 5 to 10 years, but who knows with technology. Personnel, I don't think we have any new personnel. We did hire 2 new guys. I don't know if you knew that on the field crew. A couple of young kids that seem to be working out very well. Dan's happy with them. They seem to be doing well. So that's all I have for the personnel side. Any questions? We'll move to the next proposed meetings. Well, the workshop will be in October, and then we'll be looking at Thanksgiving in November. November 3rd will be the official meeting, board meeting. Should have absolutely some updates on the budget and things like that. Moving forward. Any questions? Motion? All in favor? Thank you very much, gentlemen.
I mean, sorry guys.